information on where we are today. My father is Tatlock Larry Jimmy, and my mother is Tammy Bartz. When I was asked to come and support this movement, there's no question in my mind that this was the right thing to do. And I was so happy when this started. Those 4 women from Saskatchewan that started this movement to bring awareness about what's happening in our communities to our Indigenous people and what's being pushed through with government legislation that affects all of our people, not only as Indigenous people, but as Canadians. It's good to see lots of familiar faces here today. There's a number of things that we need to be aware of when we're doing these types of demonstrations. We understand and take the time to learn about what is happening out there, what bills are affecting our people, what legislation changes are affecting us as people in our communities, the future of our children, the future generations to come. The bills that are being passed, like the Bill C-45, the omnibus bill that affects ways that we our ownership rights to the land and allows people to come in and through a simple vote get rid of First Nation land. Not by the community vote, but if somebody wants to sell their land, they can call a meeting of members. The minister can call a meeting, and if 5 people show up and 3 people vote in favor of that person getting rid of that land, they can do it without consultation with the community, without consultation or consent from the band. This eradicates our reservations and the right that we have to look out and monitor our own lands for years to come. We hold these lands as a collective. We hold these lands as one, not as just individuals. There may be CP title or these underlying titles that come out from what we've been exposed to. But we have to take the time to learn about what's happening. The First Nation Property Ownership Act that's being pushed through. Understand what that means. Understand what that will do to your community. It's great that people want to know. We all know that there's remote reserves and there's people that are living in poverty. And we all know that if an opportunity comes up, some of those people will take advantage of getting rid of those lands because it benefits them for the time being. But it's the ones that are here drumming, the young ones, that we're here to protect as well. So when those lands are being taken away and given without any consultation to these kids, to us in our communities, that's what we're here for. That's what we're fighting for. We don't, it's not about any type of personal gain. Someone's short-term gain is the long-term loss. If we start losing these lands, what happened in the States with the Dawes Act in the late 1800s is a prime example of what that Property Ownership Act can do. And start separating the reserves. We'll have our lands like these held in common, and then those CP lands that are being taken away or being moved through the Property Ownership Act, you'll start to see the checkerboard effect. You'll see all of these lands here, and then there'll be a little pocket over there that's held by a non-First Nations person. And is that what we want to see in our communities? Down the line, when we start to see what's happening, are we controlling as a governing body later on down the road over those lands that are held by non-First Nations people? Then what are we doing? So we have to understand these things. The navigable waters, the changes to the navigable waters. We have something like 2.5 million waterways, lakes, and rivers that were protected by the federal government prior to this bill. They're looking to wash their hands of that responsibility and pass it on to the province. Is the province going to uphold the same preservation rights to us that they have in the past, that the federal government has? No. Is the Enbridge pipeline coming down the road, when it comes through those waterways, are they going to have to follow the same rigorous protectionary acts and come and consult with First Nations as it runs through our properties? Nope. They won't have that. And those are the things that we have to understand when we're holding these rallies, the importance of why we do this. It's not, it's great, and the fact that I love about this movement is, I am an elected leader, but this is a grassroots movement. It's you and you and you and you and you. It's all of our people coming together as one.
Yes,
We all have our problems on our reserves. We all have the differences amongst families. That won't go away. That will always be there. That's the reality. But here we are standing together, united as one. for the same cause, and that's the protection of our lands, the protection of our future, and the protection of who we are as Indigenous people. So I just wanted to share a few words. I don't want to go on too long because I do want to hear from the people. That's what this is about. But I want to just share a little bit of what I know with those that are here. Hey,